Here's looking down the other driveway that we had that goes onto the road. That house in the distance is called was originally the Stewart House. It was built long before this house was. It's been renovated and converted into apartments, but the basic structure is the same as the original house. And this is a view of the east part of a property. Now we're walking back to behind the house. That building in the distance is a barn built by my uncles in the 1930s or 40s. It's still standing, which is pretty amazing. This is the guest house. It originally was a garage. It was converted to living quarters in the 30s or 40s. I'm not exactly sure when. And there's the back view of the house. We had a lot of English ivy back here, but it died, and so I'm growing some new ivy. And when it grows, it'll cover all these trellises all the way up to the top and around. They'll be covered with green. This is a trumpet vine. It grows. It is every year it loses its leaves and comes back. As you can see, it's getting new leaves, and it will grow red trumpet flowers. Beautiful plant. This is the carport, which was added, I believe, in the 40s. And here is a view of the water tower from the front. That steer head up there indicates the water level. Even though it shows it to be half full, it's actually empty. We need to readjust that the head so that when we get water coming up after we repair the pipe, it will show the right level. This is a view down the hill. One time when I was about 5 years old, there wasn't much foliage here. That was during a drought season, and there was an Indian riding a horse down there, and I was up here waving at him, and he came up. He was a teenage kid, and he gave me a nice ride on his horse. Here is the west side of the house. We have some English ivy here, which is dying. We were unable to save it for some reason, but I will be planting new English ivy to take care of it. I guess it has its own lifespan. It's been there for many, many years. Over here is the side of the porch, the west side of the porch, along with some new English ivy I have growing here, and some irises, which are blooming, very pretty. This is the carport. I guess I'll just walk through this. It's not really much of interesting to look at in here, except it's got some cars in it. This right here is the cellar door, and there is a cellar down here. I'll take you for a little tour of it. It's not much to look at, but so here we're going down the cellar stairs. It's mainly a storage area now, and it has the furnace in it. There's the bottom of the floor. These windows behind that box used to be a coal chute. Coal used to come in here, and there was a coal furnace in here at one time. It's been changed into just a window. You can see the foundation underneath the floors there. By the way, this house is made of adobe, and all of the adobe was taken from this, where they dug it out here. You can see the earth wall there, but they dug out and made adobe from the earth in here to build the walls of the house. Let me go back up now. This again is a guest house. And front yard of the guest house. These prickly pears here are a variety that's not native to Arizona, but it grows very well here. One is like a slightly purple tinge, the other one's like a pale green, and they don't have the large spines, just tiny ones. They grow very well, and I've got several of them growing around the yard. This is a bird of paradise plant. It's fairly new. I grew it from seeds, and this is its second summer. As you can see, it's growing. It's pretty tall already, but it's got a long ways to go. This is behind the guest house here, and that is the corral where horses have been kept, and still good for horses. You can keep them there. We also keep horses back in that area back there beyond the fence. This is the back of the guest house, and here is the back of the water tower. We call it the tank house. Now we're looking north. I'm going to walk over into the corral area. This is where horses are kept, and there is several places where they get food, and they can sleep and they can get out of the rain right in here. And also there's a feed chute for them right there. Here's an interesting painting done several years ago by a friend of the family. This is the water trough for the horses. It's original. I'm going to go and show you what we call the Indian rock. It's been part of the family, even though it doesn't really sit on the Terry property. It sits right next to it. We have many pictures of every generation on this rock posing. It's quite an interesting rock. It's right there in the background. We're going to be walking up to it. On top of there, you'll see, I'll show you some evidence of the Indians living on this land. It's a beautiful day today. It's about, I don't know, in the 70s. Very nice and pleasant.